Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, I'll do a quick video on me pollinating this Stenocereus martinezii flower here, and I will tag it to make sure I keep record. I did have a bag on this earlier. So now I'm going to pollinate the flower with a queretaroensis pollen, and then I'm going to bag the flower again. So I'm going to go to my freezer here and look for some queretaroensis pollen that I got a few. See, this one I got from the 26th, which was that like a week or two ago. And then, let me see. Oh, here's the other one. Let's get it. That one's from the 22nd. This is the freshest one. I'm gonna use this one. And let's see which one looks better. Yeah, this one looks good. Okay, so this is gonna be a one-time use only because I do have another queretaroensis flower in the back that I need to pollinate, and I will use this flower. First thing I'm gonna do though is I'm going to freeze some of this pollen. So I'm gonna go do that right now. Give me a second. Abstract as much pollen from this martinezii flower. So I'm going to use this little vacuum here. See how much pollen these flowers have. I just vacuumed one of the petals. Okay, let's see what we're left with. Wow, that is a good amount of pollen. And I'm just gonna remove. Let's see, where do I have my brush? I have a brush right here. Okay, so I'm gonna remove the petal, which will give extra moisture, and I do not want any moisture here. So, as with other frozen pollens, I'm going to put it in a specimen container. I'll try to get as much as I can into the specimen container. Okay. Look at this. It's a good amount. So, you know what? I'm going to use martinezii pollen on the back flower. So, I'm going to leave this right here like this. And what I do with my frozen pollen is I like to put a silica pack in the specimen container. Seal that airtight. And then put that in a Ziploc bag. I have it labeled. And then put that in a Ziploc bag with another silica pack. Desiccant silica. So I'm going to put this in the freezer. Try to remove all the air. So air oxidizes. So you do not want the pollen to get oxidized, so try to remove as much air. Also, wet pollen is no good, so that's why we put the desiccant, the silica packs, this absorbs moisture. You could get free ones when you get electronics or shoes. You'll see these little packs. Save them. So I'm gonna chuck this away in the freezer here. And yes. So now let me pollinate this this martinezii here. So I need a new brush. Give me a second. Okay, so I have my brush here. Let me look at this flower. It's a smaller flower than queretaroensis. Much smaller. Let's see. So I have never pollinated one of these. You know what? Let me move this up. It has a pretty big stigma. You know what? I'm going to move the anthers just so I could see better. So what I'm going to do is move the stigma to one side. I'm going to cut these anthers. I wish I had smaller scissors. My wife is asleep, or else I would wake her up and tell her to give me some of her makeup scissors. Oh, I'm not recording here. So the reason I have these scissors out is because I have a flower in the backyard that I'm going to have to cut open. Yeah, these scissors are not that good. But anyways, you could see the stigma is now sticking out really far back now that I cut those anthers off. So it'll be an easy pollination. Let's just hope this pollen that I froze is viable and I'll get fruit here. So I'm going to collect some pollen from the bottom. It's sat a little bit, kind of defrosted. I have some pollen here, and again, I'm only going to use this once. So I have some pollen there. I put my finger on one side of the stigma. And just go to town. Try to get this to go down the stigma, down the pistil. And it's cool that it's facing down because the pollen has to work its way down to the ovaries, the ovary of the flower. And since I'm only going to use this once, I'm going to try this multiple times. There's all these anthers in there too. It's not just pollen. But you can see the pollen, the dust. See, there's anthers on there, but there's dust. And the dust is the pollen. That's like that's what's going to fertilize the flower. That's what's going to pollinate it. So, let me try again. And I'm going to do this multiple times just because I really want to make sure this gets pollinated. I don't even know if queretaroensis is viable with martinezii, but if it is, then I can cross them not only to get fruit, but collect the seed, and I could make a cross. And how cool would a martinezii look? A martinezii look crossed with the queretaroensis. That'd be pretty badass, no? I think so. Alright, so I think that's good enough. I'm going to go ahead and bag this flower, put a tag on it, and I'll find out in a week or two if the flower falls off. Then that means it was not pollinated correctly. It didn't get the pollen, or the pollen wasn't viable. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. So what I do with the containers that I used previously, I will wash them, and I will put alcohol and remove the old markings, and I will wash this with alcohol, and I could reuse the specimen container. The silica packs, the one that I had in the bag, I will reuse in the bag, and the one that I had inside with the pollen, I'll make sure I dust it off, and I will not use this inside another one, but I will use it in a bag like this. I will not mix this with other pollen, even though this pollen is going to be no good anyways, whatever residue is on there. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let's see, I'll do an updated video, see if this sets fruit. I gotta check the videos on which one I pollinated last time. I believe it was this one, or this one. Okay guys, that's it for now. Cheers.